Chào mừng các bạn đã quay trở lại với Extra Lesson 4 trong chuỗi bài học tiếng Anh thực tế của chúng ta. Hôm nay, chúng ta sẽ dừng chân tại Chùa Vĩnh Nghiêm, một không gian tĩnh lặng ngay giữa lòng thành phố Hồ Chí Minh náo nhiệt. Trong bài học này, chúng ta sẽ vào vai một người tiếp đón tại chùa, cùng trò chuyện và chia sẻ những nét đẹp văn hóa đặc trưng với các bạn sinh viên đến từ Nhật Bản. Qua ống phần nội dung từ lịch sử đến kiến trúc đặc sắc của chùa, các bạn sẽ được trau dồi vốn từ vựng tiếng Anh về văn hóa và tôn giáo một cách sinh động nhất. Bây giờ, mời các bạn cùng bước vào không gian của Chùa Vĩnh Nghiêm để bắt đầu buổi đối thoại nhé.
Extra Lesson 4, Book 2. Welcome to Vĩnh Nghiêm Pagoda. Suppose you are living at Vĩnh Nghiêm Pagoda, which receives hundreds of visitors every day. Take the role of a receptionist and act out the dialogue between him and foreign visitors.
Hello, brother. We're Japanese students at the Department of Asian Studies at the University of Ho Chi Minh City. We've just been here for a few days, and we'd like to see your pagoda as soon as possible.
Welcome to our pagoda. I'm a fourth-year monk student at the Vietnam Buddhist Academy in this city. Some classmates of mine and I are residents here. We're glad to make your acquaintance. You're from Japan, a country of Buddhist temples, and maybe you want to know some typical features of our Vietnamese pagodas, don't you?
That's right. We're anxious to visit Vietnamese famous pagodas, especially this pagoda. We're really impressed by the great stupa whenever we ride past the triple gates of the pagoda.
Đúng vậy, chúng tôi rất mong được tham quan những ngôi chùa nổi tiếng của Việt Nam, đặc biệt là ngôi chùa này. Chúng tôi thực sự ấn tượng với bảo tháp lớn mỗi khi đi ngang qua cổng tam quan của chùa.
We're very lucky to meet you today. We hope to learn a lot of interesting things about the most famous pagoda in this city.
Well, let's go to the reception room to have some tea first. This way, please.
Part 1, The Origin and Location of the Pagoda.
When was this pagoda built?
It was built from 1964 to 1971 after a plan drawn by the architect Nguyen Ba Long and his colleagues.
What design is it?
It is a U-shaped two-story building with an Oriental-style double roof.
Why is it named Vĩnh Nghiêm?
It is named Vĩnh Nghiêm after the Buddhist cultural center of the Truklam sect, headed by the Truklam Trinity, three patriarchs Truklam, Phop Loa, and Huyen Guang, under the Tron reign in former Baxiang province, present Ha Bach province. It's also the religious title of Patriarch Tong Han, 1838 to 1936, a dignified Chan master who was once consecrated North Vienne Buddhist Sangha president. According to the charter of the former unified Vienne Buddhist Sangha, all Buddhists of northern origin living in South Vienne belong to the Vĩnh Nghiêm community seated at the central patriarchal house.
What a large auditorium! Is it the preaching hall of your pagoda?
Yes, it is. We have lectures on the Dhamma every Sunday morning here. Hundreds of people come to hear Dhamma talks given by various Dhamma teachers.
What are the towers on the upper courtyard?
They are the Avalokiteshvara stupa on the left and the bell tower on the right. The great bell inside is a rare gift from the Japanese Buddhist Sangha, you know.
Really? It is a good chance that we can see a valuable gift donated by our fellow people as a sign of friendship between the two Buddhist brotherhoods.
Now, let's go inside the main hall and you'll see many other priceless donations offered by devotees to the Triple Gem.
Part 2. The main hall and altar decoration.
How splendid the main hall is. How long and how wide is it?
It's 22 meters wide and 35 meters long. Have you ever seen such wooden net-like panels around the altars before?
Never. What are they?
They are carvings that look like nets with such images as the 4 sacred animals, that is, the dragon, the unicorn, the tortoise, and the phoenix, typical of Chinese traditional art, and the 9 dragons sprinkling water at the Buddha's birthplace in Lumbini Park, North India, modern Nepal.
Let's look closer at the panels to see how lovely they are. The craftsmen in your country are skillful indeed at such meticulous works of art.
Yes, of course. They were well-known carvers coming here from many towns and villages in North and South Vietnam. They had learned the art of carving on wood, silver, and bronze, handed down from generation to generation in their native land. Now, look at the altars decorated with reliefs of famous Asian pagodas. Above are horizontal boards inscribed with Chinese calligraphy, and on both sides of each altar are vertical boards with parallel sentences. All are gilded and vermilion painted. Besides, there are paintings depicting Buddhist legends.
Wonderful! We really admire them. We can't imagine how much time and effort were spent on these elaborate and painstaking works of art. Those gifted craftsmen and painters must have been devout Buddhists who wished to make their own contribution to the Dharma prosperity in your country, we believe.
That's right. Buddhism was once a state religion under the Li and Tran dynasties from the 11th century to the 14th century, when many kings, courtiers, and scholars, as well as common people, became Buddhist monks. It is called the Golden Age of Vietnamese Buddhism, and the Truc Chen sect, the unique Vietnamese Chen sect headed by the Truc Trinity on Mount An Tu, is the symbol of the Vietnamese Buddhist summit. Even today, though Buddhist influence is not as widespread as it was before, a large number of Vietnamese people are Buddhists.
In Japan, Buddhism has been a state religion for many centuries, and Buddhism has had a great influence on various social activities. So, the Vietnamese and the Japanese have shared the same belief in Lord Buddha Sakyamuni for such a long time.
Well, look at the Buddha statue in the central altar, flanked by the Bodhisattva Samantabhadras, the symbol of virtue, and the Bodhisattva Manjushris, the symbol of wisdom. The golden-hued statue is really majestic. Let's do the Buddha homage, friends.
Part 3. Interior and exterior decoration. The Avalokiteshvara Stupa.
On both sides of the central altars are statues of the Buddha's holy disciples, such as the Venerable Sariputta, Kassapa the Great, Ananda, Rahula, you know? They were classified among the preeminent ones by the Buddha himself. Now, I'd like to tell you something about these 6 wooden Arahant reliefs illustrating the almsgiving to Arahants, the gift offering to Arahants, the learner admonishing Arahants, the Dhamma preaching and hearing Arahants, the sinner-saving Arahants in the Sword Mountain Purgatory, the sinner-saving Arahants in the Icy Purgatory. Each Arahant is escorted by 2 yakshas bearing candles in honor of the Buddha. These wooden carvings are imitations of the Japanese Pure Land School's originals.
What impressive carvings! They show us how the Buddha's holy disciples practice the Buddha Dharma and work for other beings' salvation wherever possible, even in the most dangerous situations, such as the Sword Mountain Purgatory, the Icy Purgatory. The Buddha's holy disciples are indeed worthy of reverence and offering. They are an incomparable field of merits in the world.
And these are bronze statues of Vajra gods, Dharma guardians, on both sides of the corridor, one for good and the other against evil. I think there are Vajra statues in Japanese temples, aren't there?
Yes, sure. The Pure Land School is very popular in Japan, so we see many similarities in altar decoration between the Vietnamese pagodas and Japanese ones. But why does this pagoda roof have curved ends? We seldom see such curved roof ends anywhere else.
The curved roof ends are typical of the northern pagoda style, with a double front roof topped by a dharma wheel. Moreover, they are all phoenix head shaped. Now let's go to the Avalokiteshvara stupa on the left, and you can take some photographs of the famous 7-story square stupa of our city.
How high is it, and how much does it cover?
It's 35 meters high from the ground, and it covers about 50 square meters on a 200 square meter upper yard. Each roof edge on the first story is 7 meters long. On both sides of the entrance are Vajra gods relief sculptures, 1 meter 48 high and 0.74 meters wide. Along the walls of the 7 stories, there are 27 relief sculptures of the 7 past Buddhas and many Dharma patriarchs. Now, friends, let's have some photos taken together at the entrance before entering to see each story.
Part 4, The High School of Buddhist Studies, the Public Relics Stupa, the Present Abbot.
What is the building over there?
It's the seat of the High School of Buddhist Studies in Ho Chi Minh City, where the students attend a 4-year course before going to the VN Buddhist Academy through an entrance examination if they wish to. Vĩnh Nghiêm is both the greatest pagoda of our city and a Buddhist cultural center, so it receives hundreds of pilgrims and visitors every day, especially on the occasion of the Buddha's birthday on the full moon day of the 4th lunar month, the filial piety day on the full moon day of the 7th month, Lunar New Year's Eve, and Lunar New Year's Day. The yard is crowded with people. Some of them are foreigners or officials who come on their working visit to our city and are very surprised to see incense burning everywhere.
What is the stupa in back of the pagoda?
It's the public relics stupa, erected in 1982 as a place of worship to laymen's relics. It's a 4-level tower representing Vietnamese architecture.
One more question. Could you tell us who the present abbot is?
He's the most venerable Thích Thanh Kim, one of the high dignitaries of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. He's a well-learned monk scholar who made his Buddhist studies abroad, especially in Japan several decades ago. He has written many pieces of research on Buddhism in India, in China, and in Japan. He's now teaching the history of Chinese Buddhism and Japanese Buddhism, as well as the Code of Mahayanist rules at our Institute of Advanced Buddhist Studies.
How old is he now?
He's nearly 80, but he is still very healthy and hardworking. He is really a very active religious worker for the cause of Dharma propagation in our country.
Great. We admire him. We hope you'll kindly introduce us to the abbot in our next visit to your pagoda so that we can wait upon him and hear him talk about the Dharma in Japanese. Well, we must be going to school now. We've just had a wonderful time with you here. We can't thank you enough for the full explanation you've given us today. You've supplied us with very valuable information about the most famous pagoda in your city. We hope to arrange our next visit to your pagoda on the occasion of the Buddha's birthday to see how beautifully the municipal Buddhist Sangha celebrate the most important holiday of all Buddhists in this magnificent pagoda. Thanks once more for taking time to explain everything to us. This is one of the most enjoyable visits we've ever made in your city. You're an excellent guide.
I appreciate your compliment. I'm glad you've enjoyed your visit to our pagoda. I hope you'll join us here on the Buddha's birthday anniversary. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you later.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi kênh của mình. Đừng quên ấn nút đăng ký, thích, bình luận và chia sẻ video với mọi người nhé.